spousal income, because when we lose one spouse, we lose about 40% of the income. And so we have to make sure that we can make that up. And then we have the widow tax penalty that we have to worry about.
What are the 6 core issues that must be addressed in every financial and retirement plan? We're going to talk about them today with John Kuykendall, founder and CEO of GulfCoast Financial Services, perennially named best of the best in financial services by the readers of the Lake City Reporter 10 straight years and running now. We always appreciate those readers and their vote of confidence in John Kuykendall and the team there at GulfCoast Financial Services in the job that they do in helping proactive planners and savers make the plans and achieve the goals that are important to them. John, we always appreciate your time and the insights that you share here on the program. We are going to cover 6 core issues. The number one issue when putting a plan together, and every plan must address, I think, each one of these. But the number one is understanding the perspective of your source of advice and making sure that you are connecting and agreeing with that source.
Well, that's right, Peter. I mean, we have to have someone we trust to do the plan for us. And then we must make sure that the plan fits our needs and what we want for retirement. I mean, as I try to tell our clients, every plan is individualized for the individual or for the family. We cannot take somebody else's goals, dreams, and what they think retirement is, and then make one generic plan that fits everybody. I relate it back to that commercial, what was your retirement number? Everybody's got a different retirement number. You may take $2 million to retire. I may only need $500,000 because my life's simpler. So, you need to make sure that the plan is customized to you and what you want, and that you understand and trust the individual that's putting it together.
Yeah, some people may have a spouse, some people may be single, some people may have 6 kids, others have none, some people spend $120,000 a year, others might only spend 35, right? And then the tools that we have available to us are going to change as well, and we'll get into where those play in. But the plan aligning with your goals and the source of advice aligning with your goals really is the number one of the 6 core issues that every plan should address. And by the way, we've got a PDF report resource of this and all of the sub questions that fall under each one of these core issues. If you'd like to take a look at that or have it and review it on your own, feel free to get in touch with the team from GulfCoast Financial Services, 386-755 9018, 386-755-9018, or online, gulfcoastfinancial.net. But one of the terms that I've heard a lot more recently, John, is fiduciary. Does that go into this one? Your source of advice is that you want to make sure that they have your best interest at heart, is with the spirit of that term fiduciary means, I believe.
That's right, Peter. Fiduciary means that I put your interest first, and that I'm concerned more about how it's going to affect you than how it's going to affect me or my income or what I'm trying to sell, because there are numerous products. There are numerous avenues available to us, and we want to make sure that each client gets the best one for their individual needs. And so we have to put their interest first.
And then there are 5 more core issues: income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy. And this is really diving into what the plan consists of once you are aligned with that source of advice and the guidance that you are receiving. So, John, why is income number one and so important that it is a core issue that every plan must address?
Well, Peter, our generation doesn't have that defined benefit plan where we're going to get a check every month and it's going to grow with inflation. We're relying on our 401ks and the money that we've saved up in our individual investment accounts. And so that money is what we're going to use to generate income. And as what I've always said is when we work up the financially focused income plan, the thing we're looking at is how much income do you need? We're looking at a budget. We're looking at what your specific needs are going to be. And then we're going to try to, with Social Security coming in, look at that and maximizing that. We're going to look at ways that we can fill that gap with predictable, sustainable income so that every month we know we've got a check coming in. And then, as I like to say, we have a growth bucket that's going to grow, be in the market, be in, in investments, so that when we need more money because of inflation, or we want to take that trip to Canada or Alaska, we've got the money there that we pull out of our growth bucket for our play money.
Yep. Does your income plan address inflation, longevity, spousal income replacement protection, dependency? And is the income exposed to the volatility and fluctuations of the market? John, during our working career, generally ups and downs in the market don't impact our paycheck and our income. Why would we want to change that kind of predictability and dependability for the income once we retire? And I know that's a big part of formulating that financially focused written retirement income plan.
Well, that's right, Peter. Well, while we're working, we still got a paycheck that's meeting our needs. And so we're not relying on our investments. We're not pulling money out of the market. Our money is working for us, hopefully. And so what we have to do is that money has to grow so that when we retire, we can stop depending upon it for our income, go to other alternative investments so that we can have a predictable, sustainable income. And then, like I said, use that for a growth bucket. But if I'm pulling money out and the market is also having losses that year, which the market doesn't go up every year, then my money's going to run out quicker. It's called sequence of returns. And we know that. We've proven that with computers, that there is a thing called sequence of return. And if I'm pulling out money to live on and the market's going down, my money will run out faster than what my plan calls for. And I'll have to cut my income, which means I have to cut my living. The one thing that everyone's concerned about is we always say we don't want to have to go live with the kids. And that's why we're trying to make sure that we have enough income that everybody can stay independent. And you mentioned one other thing, Peter, which is very important, that spousal income, because when we lose one spouse, we lose about 40% of the income. And so we have to make sure that we can make that up. And then we have the widow tax penalty that we have to worry about, because single individuals filing separately or filing individually are going to pay more taxes. We know that. So we're looking at all those things and trying to plan that out over the 30 or 35 years that you're going to be retired.
Yeah, specifically with that Social Security, part of that income is going to disappear for a widow or widower survivor. So we've got to plan for that ahead of time. And that's, John, where I think the income, the core issue number 2, that lays the foundation. That financially focused written retirement income plan is the foundation that we lay for all the other financial progress that we can make. But inflation, taxes, market volatility, all of those things, just like a real foundation, the ground shifts on us over time and there can be cracks. That's why we've got to have the investments, right? The investments are there growing in the background to fill in the cracks down the road. And that's why it's number 3 on these 6 core issues.
Well, that's right, Peter. As we go through our retirement, inflation is going to be going up, taxes is going to be going up, it's going to cost more. We know today that a car costs a lot more than it cost 20 years ago. And so who would ever think we'd have $90,000 pickup truck?
A car costs a house today.
Yeah. Well, a car costs actually 5 times my first house.
Yep.
So, we have to have more money. And that's why we're concerned about the investments. You can't let your money work for you during retirement. We have to have a certain amount of money set aside that's in the market that will go with the ups and downs, but that we're not drawing it out so that as that grows, which it will over time, then we'll be able to pull that money out and use it to fill those gaps and to fill the additions that we don't think about. I'm telling you right now that it doesn't take less in retirement. It doesn't take less income in retirement than it does right now for you. You'll be spending just as much. There's no way any individual today is going to cut back on their income and supposedly live a frugal life in retirement. It just doesn't happen. Medicine costs more, healthcare costs more, everything costs more.
Yep.
And so,
And retirement's in the future, so it's going to be more expensive than it is
that's right.
today.
Who knows what it's going to be? I mean, we'll be paying 300,000 for a car. You got to have the money to do that. And
Yeah.
so we need to make sure that we've kept up with inflation and all the other problems that we're going to face. Being in retirement's not for wimps. We've said that, Peter. This is really a game that we have to win. If we don't win this game, then we will not have the retirement that we need. And we're not able to go back to work. We can only be a Publix bag boy for so long. And then we have to quit. So, we just can't keep up the way we used to. I always thought it was kind of ridiculous that people retired so they didn't have any time. Well, it's not that you've got any more to do. It just takes you twice as long to do everything. So, it takes me longer to mow the yard because I have to rest in between, the front yard and the backyard.
Mhm.
So take a little nap. So these are things that all happen during retirement. We've got to make sure that we have all those covered. And healthcare costs are going to be a major concern, as that's one number 5 in our retirement. Healthcare costs are continuing to go up. We're going to be required to spend more and more money of our money, I believe, in the future to help pay for Medicare, because Medicare doesn't have the money there.
Yeah.
And so those of us that have are going to end up paying more than what we were promised. And so we need to be ready for that, Peter.
Yeah, no, the cost of healthcare is that proverbial gorilla in the room, right? Is that even a well-laid, well-thought-out, well-protected, and well-funded retirement plan can be kind of laid ruin if we have not specifically addressed the potential for those healthcare-related expenses. And another one, taxes. I know that you deal a lot with taxes, keeping as much of our money as possible, minimizing that tax liability. These are core issues that must be addressed in planning, and all interwoven, all contingent upon each other, John. And the last one there, I know that there's a lot of people saying, hey, it's not my desire to leave a great deal of wealth to the kids, that I don't want to leave my kids rich. I want to enjoy my money. And I don't think that's a selfish notion at all. But the reality is, if we address all of these other core issues and do have a sense of lasting financial confidence, then in all likelihood, a legacy is going to be left behind. And we probably want to do that in the most efficient manner possible and not leave the IRS as our largest beneficiary.
That's right, Peter. With the new rules, the Secure Act, which came out in the Secure Act 2.0, it changed the floor plan for how we're taking money out or how we're leaving our qualified accounts to our heirs. And so we need to make sure that we're not going to be a burden to them by trying to cover some of the costs for the taxes that they're going to incur. But also, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't want to leave money to the grandchildren or kids if they have the kind of retirement they want. I'm concerned about making sure that we take care of our clients first, and then we leave a legacy. And that legacy requires some estate planning, because we can't just leave that at the whim of our, of the courts. We want to make sure that we've got all the documents in place to take care of us, to take care of the estate, to take care of the kids, so that during this time, which is traumatic to anyone, that they're not burdened by what we've left behind and didn't do it right. And so one of the things that we do with a financially focused income plan is we make sure that you've documents in place and that you're working with an attorney so that we can make sure that the money that's left over and the estate that's left over passes to the heirs properly. And Peter, that's going to be more important in the future, because as we get the new tax laws in 2026, we're going to there's a really good chance that $13 million estate exemption is going to come down. And so it's real easy nowadays for someone to be in the $1 million, $2 million bracket just because of real estate, the price of homes and the value of homes. And so we need to make sure that we haven't created an estate tax problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you need to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you have a plan for that lasting financial confidence. And the only way you can do that reasonably is to address each one of these core issues. Every plan for your financial future, for retirement, should address these 6 core issues. Your source of advice, the income, the investments, the taxes, the healthcare, the legacy, all of those are high-level issues. There are lots of sub-questions, categories, caveats, and factors that go into each and every one of them. And that's why you've got a team of experienced, qualified professionals as your resource, offering to go through these core issues and make sure that you've addressed them in a detailed plan, specific and customized to you, the financially focused written retirement income plan. If you'd like to get that put together, give John Kuykendall and GulfCoast Financial Services a call. No cost, no obligation for the initial review, the strategy session, and to get that financially focused plan. All you need to do is call now, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. John, as you are doing kind of those initial reviews with savers and investors, careful planners, those not yet clients, do you find that oftentimes people have not addressed one of these 6 core issues yet in their planning?
Oh, Peter, yeah. I mean, usually there are several items on this list that haven't been addressed properly. You know, as I said, retirement is difficult. Social Security, trying to plan that out. Medicare, which plan to take, how to do a waiver if I've got a IRMA because I sold a piece of property or something. There's just a lot of things that fall in the background that we help our clients with and make sure that we're covered. And I don't think that everybody addresses all these. They're thinking about the investments and how am I going to get my money out each month, but they're not really worried about the other items, which, you know, we like to tell our clients that when we work up this plan, when we do your financially focused income plan, it's a living, breathing organism that we work with every day. Experience that we're going to bring out every year. And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that we adjust that every year and that we do everything we need to do every year to keep it updated, keep it current, and make sure that we've got it current. That's one of the things, Peter, that we offer. And we have a lot of clients, all of our clients take that up. We review it every year. And taxes are number one. I guarantee you that most people haven't really thought about their taxes because while I'm working, taxes aren't a problem for me because it's coming out of my income. I don't even see it. I don't know what my tax bracket is. So in retirement, it's a lot more complicated and a lot more at risk.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have that plan in place, the financially focused written retirement income plan, because quitting is for winners, but retirement's not for wimps. And you've got to have a plan that is tested, that addresses these 6 core issues. And that's exactly the type of plan that the team from GulfCoast Financial Services is happy to help you put together and then to execute and monitor as time goes by to make sure that it stays reflective of your goals and life circumstances in the world around us. So give them a call, get that process started, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Certainly be sure that your plan does not overlook or miss any of these core issues. And John, I know that you're working hard to make sure all of your clients aren't missing any of them each and every day there at Gulf Coast and here on the program, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, Peter. It was great to be here this week. I hope somebody got some information out of that, and we're looking forward to working with you on your plan.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions. GulfCoast Financial Services Inc. has been named as Best of the Best since 2015 in the category of Best Financial Advisor in the Lake City, Florida area. The award was based on receiving the most votes in this category from a survey offered and tabulated by the Lake City Reporter. No direct or indirect compensation was provided to the Lake City Reporter and/or any raters, and the award is not contingent on future direct or indirect compensation offered to the newspaper and/or raters. Portfolio performance is not a criterion, and voting is open to any readers of the newspaper.